see what's going on here. Hey, if you brothers can hear us, man, just give us we got some technical issues. Yeah, it's same.
Volume's coming through sound.
Yeah, that's same, man. All right, man. Hey, man. And first and foremost, we're gonna start off by saying all praises be to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Makakadash. You know, double honors to the apostles, that great millstone, and salute to your brothers teaching the word in sincerity and truth, man. And then you got it, man. I'm gonna just give me a second. You got it, bro.
Yeah, man. So, hey, we're out here to teach the truth of the scriptures, man. To show these people who they are, okay? To show them what time they're in according to the prophecy in the scriptures, okay? And to tell you that right now we're in the wicked's kingdom. We're in Esau's kingdom. That's the wicked, okay? In fact, let me start with the scripture. Let's get Malachi, okay? This is the basics, and there's a lot of our people out there need to hear this because we're in that time, man, right? This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 3. It says, "And I hated Esau and laid..." Now let's start from 2. "I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob." Okay, so who's Jacob? Jacob is you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, people on this side, man. And anyone else that descends back to that man Jacob through the patriarchy, through the seed of the man.
Yeah.
So the Lord said what? That he loved Jacob, man. Why? Because, and Jacob's name means supplanter. It was changed to what? Israel, meaning a son of God, man. A prince of the power. A prince of God, if you will. Okay? And that's these people today, man. Okay? That's why no matter whatever we do, we're the best at it. Okay? When you look at, for example, let's take up music, for example, right? When they give titles like the king of something. Yeah, the king of pop. Michael Jackson, the king of R&B, R. Kelly, and all that, man. So when you look at it, it's all Jakes. It's all Israelites. Everything we did, we bring flavor to. We're the best at everything we do. The best boxers, everything, man. Okay? We're the spiritual people of the Lord. We were the ones that were given the commandments, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord of how to govern, how to lead your life. The instructions, if you will, man. Now, on the other side, when you read about the story of Jacob and Esau, okay, Jacob's brother Esau is the wicked, okay, and that's who you call the so-called white man today. That's ruling this earth, okay. They call them, the little hats. You call them, okay.
Yeah, they don't want to be cursed out, man. You can't even talk about them, man. You talk about them, man, they're gonna, they don't, look at what they're doing to Ye. Just gotta put it like that. But all of them rappers, entertainers, they all got fucking deals, man. All of them rappers, entertainers, they all sold out, man. All of them sold out. They sold their souls to the devil. That's why they can't talk. They can't talk, man. We can talk, because we, the scriptures talks about the men that have not bowed down their knee to the image of Baal. So we can talk. They can't talk, man. They can't talk because they sold their souls. They fucking sold their souls, man. That's what they did.
I've got a precept for you,
Go on, brother, man.
Matthew 16, verse 24. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, "If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it."
So he says if any, let him deny himself, man. So you're denying yourself worldly pleasures and that, lust. There's certain stuff you're denying yourself of to serve the Lord. So what are you denying yourself of, man? You're denying yourself. You're denying yourself of all of this stuff that's happening. The eating, the drinking, the marrying, the giving of marriages, all of that. Because in this world, that's what it's all about. Fame, celebs, stardom, and that. And then look at these celebrities and look how they're talking and what they're talking the fuck about, man. They're talking about the music execs. They're talking about the small acts. and they're saying that these people are devils, basically, they're coming out. The people that control the music industry and all this stuff, that they're saying that these people are wicked, man.
Yeah.
And the same people talking about them, you sold out, so they're wicked as hell. Because they sold their ass out. They sold their ass, man.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. You got it.
It says, "For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it."
So whoso save his life shall lose it. The house, the car. Now, you know what? You had blackouts in like the Shetlands. They had blackouts up there. And there was also blackouts in Wolverhampton as well, in the Midlands. And there was some other blackouts near Liverpool up there by St. Helens and that.
Okay.
So you got blackouts going all over the country right now. Right now, the Fox.
Yeah.
So if you're in England right now, there's blackouts happening. You don't know, your town could be next. You think this is a joke, man? But your town could be next, man. So you better be getting in the spirit, man. You know, people wanted to watch us for entertainment and all that. Come on. Now things are getting real, man. Trust me. Things are getting real, bro. How about that?
Those are massive closing. This is verse 26. "For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and
Fucking shit.
and lose his own soul?"
Fucking. Yeah.
He says,
So it says, so what should a man gain if he gains the world, loses that soul, man?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and you know what, man? Fuck celebrities, man. Kim K and all that, man. These people, Kim Kardashian's gonna be burnt at the stake, and you know she's gonna be burnt at the stake. She's witches. The punishment for a witch is to be burnt alive, man.
Right.
Do you know Kim K is gonna be destroyed? She's gonna be destroyed in the fire of America. Kim K. People worshipping Kim, licking the arses of these people, man. They're devils, man. They're gonna get fucked up, man. Now she's a Jake, obviously she's an Israelite. Where's she from? She's not from Syria. She's
Armenian.
From Armenia. She's Armenian. You know what I mean? So she's from the Middle East.
Yeah.
But she's took on her and her family have took on the horse philosophies, Babylonian philosophies. Man. That's what they took on, man. Yeah. You got it, man.
He says, "If he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul, or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?"
So you can sell your soul.
Yeah.
But how do you sell your soul?
Yeah.
You sell your soul. You sell your soul, man. You sell your soul when you give over everything to another, to the princes of the rulers of darkness of this world. You summon, the demons are summoned on your ass. You're giving over. You don't, now you ain't serving the Most High, man. Now you're giving over to them spirits. Now you're doing these demonic things. And a lot of these people that call themselves exposing the Illuminati, a lot of yous are fucking sold out. Alex Jones, David Icke, these people are Masons, man. They're fucking sold the fuck out. Fucking David Icke lives on the Isle of Wight down there in the south. Now there's one video where he's exposing rituals, but he's on his own island, right, and he's gone there. Right where he lives, and he says that. I gotta watch it, someone was telling me about it. And apparently near where he lives, that they're doing this ritual, no one can hear it. And he goes there and he says that where they do it at, no one will be able to hear what they're doing. How do you know about all that? So he's going into depth and all that. He's walking up the road from his house. Come on, man. Come on, man. You fucking sold out, man. And you know what, man?
Juiced in Jesus, man. They all get the green light from Esau, and the devil's up top. Quick precept. Matthew chapter 4, verse 8. And this is going into Yahushua being tempted of the devil. It says, "Again the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them.
Yep.
And he saith unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou fall down and worship me. Then saith Yahushua unto him.
Let's go to that.
Okay,
Let's go to that.
What would a man give in exchange for his soul? You know? So Yahushua, our Lord was tested. And you know, when Yahushua was on the scene in Solomon, he did all that. He went into he built up the temples to the different deities and false idols.
He worshipped the gods that they had, man. They had all he built up the temple and the statues of them gods, man.
Yeah.
He built up Moabite women, every woman, and he built up a deity and a statue for their gods, man. So Solomon went off into the witchcraft on a big level.
High level, yeah.
High level.
Let's talk about him today.
The highest level.
Highest level. Yeah.
So Mason, they talk about this King Solomon and stuff.
Yeah.
They try and get into that because he went off into that. So and that was Yahushua.
Yeah.
And that proves Yahushua is Adam, man. He went off more than anybody can. He was the wisest person, and he went so spooky on the left that because that's Yahushua. He's the first. He's the ultimate man. He's experienced everything, man.
Yeah.
You know. And when he came back in the Roman Empire, he didn't even pop women.
Yeah.
He already got into the flesh. It's King Solomon, and you know what? It's women that get you into that sorcery, man.
Yeah.
He was building temples for these different women. Because a lot of these false gods, they always promise you something: wealth, fame, fortune, and that's what you read in there. It says it's promising wealth, fame, fortune, man.
Yeah.
People think this is a fucking joke, man. I'm telling you that. It's not a fucking joke, man.
Very good one.
It's a game, yeah? Because you know what I was watching? It's a game with the Most High. But it's not a joke. That's the difference. We all get in the game, man. In the Most High's game, but it's not a joke. And the Most High's got humor in the game. He's got jokes amongst the seriousness, man. Like, look at you comedians. Now, you come out that goes back to truth. What was that word? Not comedy. There's a word for comedians that means truth, man. What the fuck was that word? How did they brought it out? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I know. I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
It goes back in it. It's the memory. The mind's a funny thing. But I like when they're jesting and all that. Really, they make it. A lot of these comedians, they're actually making true statements, but they're doing it in a joke form because that's how the people are gonna. That's how the people are gonna get it. The people are gonna get it if you're saying it in a funny way or some shit, man. You gotta say it like that. Go on, man.
Right, this is quick precept. I got more in Matthew. Sirach 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
Yeah, the woman went off first. So first of all, man, the biggest sin is women. They went off first. So they're on to witchcraft, man. And you know what? When you go to the scriptures, man, they was all into. The serpent said, "Look, if you do this, you shall, you won't die, but you life. If you partake in the knowledge of wickedness, you're not going to die in it." And they did that for their lust, man. And that's where death come into the world, because Adam was deceived by the woman. And that's why these females are into feminism, female empowerment, and sorcery.
Yep.
They're with demons, man.
Yep.
A lot of the times they talk about they're getting spiritual. It's all demonic. You know what I'm saying? They're getting into all this stuff to be empowered and to offset the order of the Most High. You know?
Which those were men. The flock of my pasture are men.
Yeah, so they're going outside of their jurisdiction. And rebellion is a sin of witchcraft. So just going outside of your jurisdiction is fucking witchcraft within itself, man. Are you saying, you're a female, you want to be a man? All these female boxers, all these motherfuckers, fuck it. All these people, man. Who else?
On the Rasi and all that,
Philosophers, with female jurors. In this society, you got female judges, lawyers. They run for prime ministers and presidents. Right now in Britain, well, we're not Britain, see Britain and Scotland is a difference. Going there into England, man. They got fucking stupid ass Boris Johnson. All of these politicians are full of shit.
Yeah.
They're all full of shit. They're all of the politicians are milked in, and the clowns, man.
Yeah.
Now England did that Brexit shit. They're full of shit because you know what? All of the European nations are angry at him for doing that. Like, what the fuck has he done? They've then destroyed it. No, they got Penny Mordaunt. They got Rishi Sunak, Boris Johnson. They've had to get Boris Johnson back. Because it's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
And what's her name? Liz Truss, right?
Yeah.
She was in it for not 5 minutes. Liz Truss was in it for 5 minutes, and she's had to leave the fucking parliament.
Yeah.
It's showing you the politics is a joke. It's a joke. Go on, man.
Yeah. This is back in Matthew 4, verse 8.
Okay.
Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them.
So when you got a high seat, man, a high seat is a seat, and it's a seat of Satan. Really, the higher you go. Now, let's go back into the political game and realm and that. They want their party in because they're going to get certain benefits. They don't care about the people, man. Especially we're talking about the parliament and the crown and all that fucking bullshit, man. They don't give a shit. All they're caring about is to get their family in, they'll get their party in, so they get benefits. And it's a game. And it doesn't matter what the party is, Labour, Conservative, it's this big game. Labour haven't gone in because of what Tony Blair runs. Since Tony Blair, they haven't really gone in.
They ain't really probably gone. It's really been Conservative, Lib Dem, all that stuff.
Since that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now everybody wants the Labour back in. But what they show you is any party that you vote for, it keeps the international bankers in power at the top. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
That is the truth of the matter. A couple of cuts here in that sector, or a couple of cuts here in that sector, is what's it really doing, man? If you on a big level, what's it really do? But if you go deep, man, the Brexit thing, the destabilization of the pound and everything that's going on, is for a new world order.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. I'm not going to tell you that, but that's what it's for, man. Because they're destabilizing everything. They've destabilized the borders. They've destabilized the currency. There's wars going on. You had the outbreak that happened all over the planet. You know, the lockdown and everything, that destroyed middle class and people's businesses and stuff, and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So everybody's messed up right now, mentally messed up. They don't know what to do. There's chaos going on in one of the greatest countries in the planet, England.
Yeah.
The pound. You know, there's chaos going on with the government like never before. What do you do with a situation like that? Let's read some more scriptures.
Yep. This is.
And we'll go back into that when the Lord was tempted by the devil.
Okay.
And he was offered all the kingdoms of the devil. Because when you go back to the Roman Empire, the Lord back in the Roman Empire, man, Yahweh Shai was offered all the kingdoms of that world. Now all your politicians and presidents, they're all corrupt. All of them. Every single last one of them. All of them. They're all corrupt. They're all working for a big... Now if some of them don't want to play ball, like you're JF Kennedy, they get assassinated.
Yeah.
JF Kennedy got assassinated because he wasn't playing ball.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of that was to do with the Federal Reserve and things of that nature. You know, now the Federal Reserve money, money used to be backed by gold. The paper notes that we're using, now they're making it plastic, the poly, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it used to be have a
bearer.
Well, it used to around it.
Promise to pay the bearer,
Promise to pay the bearer, because that's your receipt. But around it, they used to have a gold string and silver string around your notes. And the reason why that is because your real money is gold and silver. Let's get that Genesis 13:1.
Alright.
Real money is gold and silver. People think they're wealthy. They got what do you call that? Fiat currency.
Yeah.
What's the other? What else do you call that?
Fiat currency.
Come on, man.
They got housing and all that.
No, the debt notes. What do you call the debt notes? What do you call them? Man, you ain't on
fiat,
point,
man.
man.
Fiat currency, though.
What? I'm gonna get it, man.
No.
Fiat currency.
Loans.
Yeah, loan bonds. Wait for the fiat currency. Oh man, what is it? Fucking hell, it's not coming in my head, man. Go on, man. Shit. There's a spirit of me.
This is Genesis chapter 13, verse 2. It says, and Abraham was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold.
Abraham was very rich in cattle, silver, and gold. So his real money is your mineral resources, the land, the animals, and the gold and the silver. Gold and silver is his precious metals, man. That's how the Most High say it. Oh, this fucking these paper notes, man. They're not actually valuable, man. That's why they keep printing them. They print them because they're not. They really don't have no value. They can keep printing them. You can't keep printing the gold because gold is actually resourceful. But it's money. They can just keep printing it. It's digits. That's why they're gonna have it now. They're pushing for the digital pound. They're pushing for that digital pound because the stuff is not real fucking wealth, man. And you people are gonna find that out when martial law kicks in, and all this, and they do a global reset. You're gonna be. I thought I was rich. I thought I was middle class. You got 50k in that bank, 100k in that bank.
Nothing. I looked up a couple of those fiat currency. Yeah. A couple different words for fiat. You've got the bill of exchange, fiduciary currency, cash, note, dollar bill, negotiable instrument. A bill of exchange, fiduciary currency, yeah, man. You know? You look at the early banking system, one of the things they used to do is they'd have the gold in the vaults or the silver in the vaults. And someone who deposited that, they wouldn't want to take that on a journey because why? You had Wild West, you had bandits, people that would what? Raid the wagons on the way, horseback.
Yeah, so if you had your wagons and you had to like so the notes, the paper receipt money that they're using was a receipt for the money you had stored in the vault.
Yeah.
Because you needed because of the raids.
Yeah.
You had to have it stored safe.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a receipt to how much you've got. Okay, you've got 50 pounds of, and it's weight. So you got 50 pounds of this. You got this. It's all about weight. A pound is a weight, man.
Yeah.
A dollar's a weight. It's all weights, isn't it?
Yeah. Dollar, pound, yeah.
Pound. It's all weight. It's all weight. So it's actually supposed to be weight of what you've actually got.
That's why they call it pound sterling, because sterling silver. You know, going back to the gold and silver in the
So
scripture.
you got a pound in silver, a pound sterling. But have you got a pound sterling? No. You got your paper money, and you think it means something.
Don't mean shit.
This is how much they got you in mind, man. But the elites have got relics, gold, silver, cattle. That's what they've got. And you're sitting here. Look what happens when the lockdowns happen. You can't even use your banks.
Yeah. Greece.
Well, I've got all this money. Well, you can't. It doesn't mean it's actually not even wealth. You can't use it.
Adequate precept.
Go ahead.
1 Timothy 6 and 17. Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living power.
And those fiat currencies, 100% uncertain riches, man. How they not? That is personified uncertain riches, man. That's uncertain riches personified.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You think when this global reset happens, oh yeah, I got dollars and all that. You do know that y'all are full of shit, man. That's why the Lord, man, come on, man. The Most High ain't dealing with all that. He's not dealing with that fucking shit.
Fucking say all that.
Go ahead.
Anytime you watch a post-apocalyptic film, what do you always see? Money being burnt, money on the floor like trash. You know, the dollar bills. And they showed you that in the Weimar Republic. In the Weimar Republic, well, even in Venezuela recently, but in the Weimar Republic back in Germany, what did you have? People walking around with wheelbarrows of cash, burning cash for heat, you know? because it don't mean shit if it's not backed by something. It's the belief in it. Fiat, you know, let it be so. If you believe in that system, then you know it works. But even the system itself is collapsing. Why? Because they're looking to collapse it to put the new system in, the MOTV system, man.
Yeah, true.
You know, they got to get rid of that because you can't put cash in the C hip. You know, you can't get a plastic $20 note or whatever, or £20 note and put it into the thing. You can't do that. So the next step is what? Digital. Everything going digital. And really, it has been digital for a while, but they're just stepping into that new. Because if you look at it like this, you go to the bank, right? When they give out a loan at the bank, fractional reserve banking, they're creating money out of thin air, adding zeros on and giving you a loan. Okay? That's not money that they got in the bank. I think the law recently changed, but it used to be you had to have 10% of the loans you were going to give out as a deposit in your holding. They've even messed around with that now, last I checked on the articles. So this whole system is bullshit, man. And it's about to implode on itself, man. And it's all designed by the elites set up the system in the first place. They set up the fiats, the Federal Reserves and all of that. They set all that up. So yeah, I'm going to get another one. This is Proverbs 11:4. It says, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. So, if I can say.
Yeah.
So you know, you guys, okay. Let's use a celebrity example. Yeah, you got Floyd Mayweather. Okay, you got Floyd Mayweather. He had that video.
I ain't fucking playing this shit. Go on, man. You got it, man.
You got a video on Instagram when he was surrounded by his money. You know, he had cash stacked up. They ain't gonna do shit. Floyd Money May. They ain't gonna do nothing for you. Now he's a good boxer, you know, but that's not gonna deliver you from death though. From that death that's coming to America.
You got you got like an expiry date on your ass. You know, pro athletes could be even a sprinter.
Yeah.
They get to a certain age, you know, and like the body starts giving out, and they're overworked. They got to take certain supplements and that, and they're getting over fucking worked, man.
Yeah.
So you're in the flesh. So, you know, a lot of them, they get to a certain. You got to talk about when you're in a certain career phase that you're out your prime.
Right.
And it's like when you're in your 30s, you're already out your prime in your 30s, man.
Yeah.
So this flesh ain't shit. How are you going to be a top warrior and you're in your 30s and you're already out your prime?
Yeah.
So this proves that this flesh is all bullshit, man. It's all the Most High ain't dealing with all that, man. The Most High says, not many mighty men are called. Yeah, let's get that.
Yeah.
He says it.
I was thinking
Nice
that
fucking wolf over there. Look at that wolf, man. Look at that wolf. See, I knew that was gonna happen. That wolf wants to come over here. Don't want to deal with it.
Wow.
I could see it. I was there. That wolf didn't want to fucking deal with it, man.
This is 1 Corinthians 1:26. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. That's why Mike Tyson's in a wheelchair, or he was recently.
Yeah.
You know, that's why he threw his belts on the floor and said, this means nothing. All that glory, all that fame, all the women that he dealt with, all of that. You know?
Yeah, he said he's fucking bout. Look at it.
Yeah.
What comes with that? Fake. You know, Tupac. Fuck it. I'll mention him. He said that before he was famous, no one wanted to know who the fuck he was.
Yeah.
When he got famous, all of a sudden, all the girlies, you know, all on his jock. He always said that.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, these, you know what I mean? Before they was in the hood, they weren't shit.
Yeah.
And then when they get up on it, all of a sudden everyone wants to screaming their names worldwide. They know that's fucking fake, man.
Yeah. And we're gonna get that in righteousness in the kingdom. Yeah, we're gonna get fame in the kingdom, man. We're gonna be famous. No, the elect are gonna be famous, man.
You know what Apostle Gabar always mentions? The Beatles, man. I think they called it the British invasion. And you had rock and roll music in a you know, like the English bands and that. AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Beatles. You know, they've got certain. I mean, I'm not. You know, there's certain specific era for it with certain bands, but there's a lot. Iron Maiden, I think they're. Are they English? I think they are. Yeah, I think they are Iron Maiden. Some might say, "Oh, you fucked that list up." Oh, fine.
Black Sabbath.
Of course, Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Some just
From
you
rock,
know,
yeah.
Or even Led Zeppelin. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but what was we talking about?
He was saying, you know, he was talking about the British invasion of the music.
Don't know
We
where
were talking about many wives, many men. Many. He was reading the scripture about not many wives, not many noble. You know, the glory of the world, all the the fame.
You got it.
Can't. So hey, you know the fame not, but we're gonna be famous in the kingdom. You know, hey, when you see that when King David, what happened with King David when he came back from the war with Saul? He was getting the cheerleaders. You know, they were just cheering him on like, David have killed his tens of thousands. You know, well and that's in the flesh in this time. You know, so imagine in the kingdom, man, how much Israel are gonna be a nation of kings and priests, and then you're gonna have the elect amongst Israel at that higher echelon, man. Okay. So we're gonna have it all.
They both killed his thousands. David killed his tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Female women are cheerleaders, man.
Yeah.
For power.
Yeah.
You know, they love power. People love power. That's what the rappers were saying. That the females love power, and like when you got a major concert going off, there's a certain musician that everyone's. Oh yeah, the Beatles. So the Beatles, they used to have that. That's a possible. Well, the Beatles used to have like floods of women all over the place, following, running them down the street. Man.
Yeah.
And you see, just type it. You know, if you ain't seen it before,
Yeah.
you see floods of females literally losing their mental health over the Beatles. Man.
Yeah. I just, you know, I was thinking about, you know, Scarface, Tony Montana.
And the Beatles channel,
Searchlight.
because that goes, the Beatles it's like a certain symbol, a certain type of energy in ancient Egypt, you know.
Right, Scarab.
Yeah, the sky.
Can't. It's alright.
So face, not a problem, man. Go ahead, Paul, man.
Yeah. It says, but Yahweh Shai, back in the 1 Corinthians 1:27. But Yahweh Shai have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise.
Yeah, so that's let's say you got like information that's of this realm, this world. That's foolish. No matter of fact, the Most High is going to take out all these empires, all the information they've got. The Chaldeans, the modern day, they were wiser than Daniel. They got all this information, technology. You know, technology is advanced. Technology is advanced. They got so, and that's where they're trying to get people chipped, because they got the technology to monitor everything that people are doing. They're monitoring all sorts.
I got a precept for you.
That's
Quick precept. Job chapter 18 verse 5. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine.
going to man.
So the light, what do they elite call themselves? The illuminated ones, right? Well, all that wickedness, all that wickedness, all that tech, all that stuff, it ain't gonna mean shit. Their light's gonna be put out, man. Okay. What's gonna reign supreme on the earth is righteousness. Okay. The true light, man, which is Yahweh Shai. Okay. And Yahweh Shai's government, the tabernacles of David. That's what's gonna be reigning on the earth, and that's what's gonna be flooding the earth. That's what's gonna be known on the earth. Oh, that's the Israelites. This is what it is. This is life. You know what it really is right now. And that's why it is when Jake's selling out, really, man, it's like you had one of those rappers, I think it was Kanye, he said, I got a crappy deal, Happy Meal or something like that, man.
Well, Kanye, he's been saying a lot, hasn't he? he's been going into the small acts and that.
Right.
He's been talking on the Amalekites, man.
Yeah.
Have you seen all that?
Yeah. I have. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
He's been going into all of that. He's been saying he's controlling everybody, and every musician, rapper, whatever, well, that's associated. They don't even want to associate with him
Yeah.
because he's saying the so-called Jews own this industry, and they own that, they own the music, they own everything. Now everyone's backing out.
Yeah.
Now there's a thing in rap. That if you got a Jewish lawyer, then you're getting off every case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If your lawyer's a Jew, you're getting off every case. So they're running the show. But we are the real Israelites. We're Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. We're the real Israelites, man.
Yeah.
Now, you know what they call themselves? The Jews, because they know there's power in being. The Most High ain't dealing with Muslims. He's dealing with the Israelites, man.
Yeah.
We got our Muslims and all that. The Most High ain't dealing with that. Muslims and all that. He's dealing with the Israelites. And those, and you know, when you go there into that speaker's corner down there, that's a mess. You're getting bullied by those Ishmaelites and that. It's really like, it's Elam. It's Elam.
Yeah, it's a lot of Elam.
It's Elam. It's mainly Elam, man. It's not Ishmael. Ishmael's over in Saudi Arabia making loads of fucking money.
Yeah.
And then celebrities and sports stars go to fucking Saudi Arabia because those people are princes themselves, and they're making all this money.
Yeah.
So they go over to Saudi Arabia and things of that nature.
And they're Jews, and that's why that's part of why they're named number 2 on the hit list. You know, Psalms 83.
Yeah,
Esau and then Ishmael. You got the Amite nations. You got Moab there.
that's true, man.
I had a quick one.
Bring it.
Revelation 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
So, well, yeah, so James 5 goes into that as well. You don't have to get it, you don't have to get it. We can get it after, but the people at the top are going to be at the bottom. Especially when Yahweh Shai comes in chariots, man.
Yeah.
They're going to be bowing down. All of them, you know, and they're going to be hiding, and they're going to get found.
Oh yeah. Couple scriptures on that. I got a precept for you.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 60 verse 10. And the sons of maybe start from 9. Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy power, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and then
You mentioned the gold, that they got the gold, as to the gold, they're going to give the gold to, they're going to transfer the gold to Israel. All the gold that they got, they're going to have to give it to us.
yeah, it's all transferable. Yeah. They stole it from us anyway. It says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their king shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. But it was pretty rough.
Scottish posh folks is rough. No, yes. Even look at Nicola Sturgeon, man, she was a bit like that. There's always this, they're supposed to be the posh fucking, you know, this little
Politicians, yeah.
They'll give you whiskey. They'll give you whiskey. They'll give you whiskey, man.
Good whiskey too. Yeah. Let me read that again. It says in verse 10, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their king shall minister unto thee. showing you what, that these elites are going to come and bow before us, and they're going to be basically our slaves, man. You know, they get paraded right now. They're the higher echelons of society, but they're going to be brought down to the lowest. Isaiah 14 tells you that. You know.
The craziest part about it is that we're ruling in secret, man.
Yeah.
People don't even know who they are, man. You know? They're ruling in secret, and people don't even know who they are. So they give they'll make the people to hide who they are and their power. I'm like, even in the music industry, it would be MTV. MTV. You don't even know MTV is ruled by a small hat. But it's when you talk about them and they shut you down, then you read, well, wait, they must be in power because they're shutting everyone down.
Yeah.
For what? Who? How? You know what I mean?
Yeah. How? If they're so on the bottom, how are they
Yeah.
silencing people?
Everybody, top celebrities,
Yeah.
governments, to shut down Mel Gibson. I need a movie, The Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I need a movie in the Highlands.
Braveheart.
Braveheart, man.
Yeah.
William Wallace and that. So, it tells you it, man.
Precept. It says Psalms 83 verse 3. So verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. I saw also is joined with them, they have holpen the children of Lot, Selah. So that, you know, the enemies are listed, man. And Edom's in there, okay? You know, they had the grandson of Edom, Amalek. So you got Esau's got he's you know, he's trying to Esau's in power, man.
And they got you have the Dukes of Edom and that as well, man.
Yeah.
You know the Dukes of Edom and that. Right? The Dukes of Edom, man.
And he's ruling by the sword.
You had the different Dukes of Edom. Amalek, I think it was one of the, but you had different Dukes, and that was these Edomite families and bloodlines, man. So rulers. The Dukes of Edom and that. Certain Edomites and that. Because he's Esau, you know, he's just like you got the 12 tribes of Israel, you got the Dukes of Edom, you know.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, and that you know, if I can say, that shows you who's in the power, man. You know, because the reason that they're getting away with all that stuff is because the power's in their hands. They own all the districts, they own everything, man. You know, to the point where you can't talk about them. If you're getting silenced and you can't even talk about something, a particular people, then you know that they got power, man. You know? It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. You know, and that's what they've done, man. You know? They've oppressed the poor man. And who's that? That's the Israelites. Okay? You know? There are oppressors. When you go back into time what chattel slavery, which we're in slavery to this day, okay? That's what bonds are about, birth certificates, you know, bond slavery, you know, debt slavery. We're still all slaves of the international banking families, man, which are all Amalek, you know, small hats, so-called Jews, as we call them, man. The Rothschild family, the Rockefeller family, to name a few. That's how they identify themselves. But really, they're not the chosen of the Lord. They're trying to say that they are.
Just been given a rule, man. It's all part of the prophecy, isn't it?
Yeah, Little Caesar.
Yeah, you get that, man. They've just been given. That's that. They got their lot, man. They're dealing with their lot.
Yep.
Man. That's what they got. They're just fucking fulfilling their lot. Like you said, man, they were chosen, but they've been given power over the earth right now. So they're fulfilling that. Read that.
Revelation 20 verse 3. And he asked, start from 2, Salakia. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and has set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season.
So the Lord's giving them their time to shine. This is their time to shine. They're doing a fucking great job. How do we know that? Because they're the devil and they were set up to destroy. They're set up to destroy everything, so they're doing a great job, man. All these Illuminati families, or whatever you want to call them, fucking, banking families, because they own the banks. But they say, well, we're more than that. But we're mainly known for them banks and manipulating governments through the banks. That's how they got their power. Give me power over the nation's money. You know what I said? Because Hannah Rothschild's right. She said, "Oh, we get known for the stigma of banks." And she always got that smile on her face. But she said, "Well, but with more so they got their cousins, and daughters, and that in their horse, the horse riders and some of them are painters and this and that, man. I mean, but they're still international bankers. They're still running all the banks, the Rothschilds family and that, man. Go ahead, man.
I got a quick quote for you. This is Maya Amschel Rothschild. He was one of the top, people in the Rothschild family that set it all up. One of the top guys, not set it up, but he had his sons go out and all that. He says, "Permit me to issue." This is his quote. "Permit me to issue and control the money of a nation, and I care not who makes its laws." Like the elder said, man. So it just shows you that's the mindset that was the game plan of these elites, and that's why he set up his sons. He sent Nathan to England. You had the English dynasty. You got the Rothschild buildings over there to this day, and publicly they were setting the gold standard price for the world.
But they got a bank, man.
Yeah.
They got type in Rothschild's bank in England. They got like their own bank. They own all the banks.
Yeah.
But they've actually got a Rothschild. I don't know I can't remember what it's called. It's called like
There's a Rothschild
RIC. It's RIC. Rothschilds and Co.
Rothschild and Co. is one of them. Headquarters are now in France. There's one in England.
What's the acronym? There's one in England. They got one in England. And it's got a big building in England, bro.
Bank England.
Like it looks like a Roman Colosseum. Well, not a Colosseum, looks like the White House. It's got pillars, all that. And we're gonna go out there, and we're gonna start rolling. We rolled upon a lot of these buildings, but we rolled upon more of these buildings, man. Yeah. We're not gonna roll upon every building. You can't roll upon every building, man, because some of this is their private shit. Like we're not gonna go up to where they live, man. That just doesn't make fucking sense. You're gonna be bogged out till you roll up to their houses. You're gonna have demons on you.
One of the banks was N.M. Rothschilds and Sons Bank in London.
There's another one, man. But maybe I found it through them alternative media.
Yeah. I'm looking because I'm on Wiki, but it's
not
like
coming up.
Yeah,
I'd have to. Man, it's called. What's it?
They own a lot of things, these guys, man.
If you go on images, let's see what. If I see it, go on images.
All right.
If it comes up, I'll click on it. It's none of that. It's like it's like watch when I show you. See, well, it's not coming up. Look at that. It's Apparently I for alternative, you know, you know what I mean?
Can't.
But it's got their name on it, but you're gonna have to go into the alternative. Look at that, it's not coming up, it's not even giving you Canary Wharf, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Protected. It looks like that.
That back in.
Yeah, but it's not that one. It's like we've seen it. No, it's not giving it. What's it? This? No, it's not giving it. Fucking. What you got? What you reading?
Yep. I was just reading.
What was you reading?
I
If
had.
not, you can get James 5 and 1.
Okay.
Let's read James 5 and 1.
This is.
But remember, you know, the UK's in political turmoil. Mainly England. It's mainly England.
Yeah.
Scotland Island's affected by it, but at the same time, they're like doing their own thing.
Yeah.
People don't know that. Like in Scotland Island, they really want to do their own fucking thing, man. They're not even doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Didn't agree with the Brexit.
They don't agree with the Brexit, man. It's mainly England that's like, I know that shit. They don't agree. Ireland and Scotland don't fucking agree with England, man. For those a lot of those policies, Brexit and that. You know?
And it's good to say if the kingdom be divided against itself, how shall that kingdom stand?
Well, a lot of them don't even want to be controlled by the crown and parliament. You got rebels in Ireland, they don't want to be controlled by the fucking crown.
Yeah.
The wild Irish, the wild Scots, the Apostle Bar says, I'm not quoting Apostle Bar here. He goes, the wild Irishman, the wild Scots, they don't even want to fucking embrace. Look, we're in Scotland right now. So I've talked to someone, if I see a wild Scotsman, I'll ask him. The wild is fuck though, you gotta understand that. But I asked him, said, you know, from England, so you might be like, oh, you know, we might think it's like a personal. Ain't that. Very fucking political out here, man. Paul, can I ask you a question, Paul, man? Paul? You can tell, man, by the state of his countenance and his ducks. Ain't about this, man. Fucking about it. You read that, man.
This-
He's fucking about this.
No, he's not. He's not. James chapter 5 verse 1.
You fucking on
It
this.
says, "Go to now,
You
you
think
rich
we're
man."
out here, man? You think we ain't out here? Like you fucking punks. We're out in the streets, man. When these people, I will start. One of the weeks was out here. We had some wild ass motherfuckers trying to come. Listen, we've been out there. Are you out there? You wanna talk about we ain't fucking out there? Where you at, man? Where the fuck you at, man? I know where I'm at. I'm in fucking Glasgow right now, man. Rough Scots, Irish. Where the fuck you at, man? Pussies, man. I know where I'm at. I know where I'm at, man. I'll go anywhere. I don't give a fuck. You just talking all this shit. You ain't out in the streets, man. You ain't risking your fucking life, your health, going through shit. These people talking all this shit. Oh, guys. Are you fucking out here? Prick? Where the fuck you at? You okay? Go on, let's keep it
Yeah. James chapter 5 verse 1. "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you."
running your fucking mouth. You thought it was pussies. And a lot of you fucking pussies, man. One of these is bugged out right now. That dude is Shan. Fuck that fucking punk, man. And you know, I don't even want to push that energy. Because you know what? Men and men, you know what? I'll say this about Ashan. We all know Ashan from down in London, right? That geezer. I give it him, he was alright, we met him.
Yeah.
He was cool, he rolled up to the camp. I didn't have a problem with him, man. He was cool. He taught a certain way. You know, he had a kind of fiery kind of spirit and that. I fucked with that. He come up and he chatted for it. He come up and he was cool, he was humble when he come up. Then the next time he came up, this was years after, he wanted to smoke. And I was in Holland with the
Yeah,
brothers up there.
Yeah. I was there, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck's up with this dude, man? And he's talking shit on cameras. Now where's he at? He's bugged out. He's talking to himself, man. That's what the report's coming out. All his men had to do. And you know what it showed is people following him were more on point than him. Now he popped. This is trying to go into all of that. Fuck it, because no one's even watching. There's not much people watching this camp anyway. Some people, I don't know who's watching it. You know, I don't care about views, man. So you're gonna hear this now. You ain't gonna hear it. He brought a fucking token of it. He popped this a black bitch that's been popped. I don't know if she a virgin or not. I don't remember. One of the brothers, but he brought her fucking. He brought to the camp, and he popped her and all the fluids on it, and he was flowing it around. That's what I've heard. That's what people said. And other people looking at him sideways, like this dude ain't right in the head, man. You know, that's what they said about him. So he shagged the lass, and then he's brought the fucking all the stuff in, you know what I mean? Blood or whatever. I don't know. The brothers, if someone is, oh, you didn't do that. Well, you know what, the brothers will do the information, put the video out there. But he was off his head. Now he come up and he had what? He wanted to fight. You want to fight? He's what the fuck you want to do, man? I ain't gonna fucking pussy, man. I ain't gonna put. And you know what? He's talking all that shit. And you know what? Because I was trying to be even spiritual, I said, look, man. Because he's from a certain area, he's pushing it. And then I heard his life was good in his own fucking hood, man. This is good. You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
You know, bro. You know, right. And they said, listen. Oh, he's from Brummels of Pat. I ain't from Pat, bro. This is gonna get. You know what? Read.
It's read. Yeah.
It's gonna get stupid.
Alright, this is James chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten.
Yeah.
Your gold and silver is cankered.
So, and you know what? We go back to the elites, but if you fall out the truth and you've been spiritual, man, let's get the to be carnal is death. This is what we was trying to push. You don't want to be carnal, man. You know, you got brothers in the truth that was in fucking in world wars, man. I ain't been in no world wars. These are sitting there and they ain't been in no, you know what I'm saying? And they acting like that is the point. That's the point I was trying to say. And then they tried to use that and got hyped up. So when we started replying to them, they weren't really saying too much. When I found out what time it was, man, they weren't really on that. Screaming on microphones, man. The fuck you think you're talking to, man? But you know what, man? We ain't shit with man. Yahweh Shai, man, got crucified, man. Yahweh Shai had the power to bring down the Roman Empire. And this is why we're men. And Yahweh Shai, man, he was on a level, man. You don't even know what apostles' elders have been through. You don't even know what they've been through, what they're on, and what they've had to suffer. And people are talking shit against apostles and elders. That's why people get upset.
Yeah.
Pipsqueaks run their mouths. They ain't even been through half the fucking stuff, a quarter of the stuff, and they're talking shit, man. Go on, man. This is a spiritual battle anyway. So I don't want to be ranting. Hopefully I'm not ranting, do you know what I mean? Lord willing, I'm not ranting or nothing. I don't want to be ranting because I know I can easily do that, man. We all can do that.
It's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful.
It's like a kid. You've been in this thing for 2 seconds.
I know about these, but listen, man. You know these people ain't been in this fucking. See, I was gonna.
I've got that scripture anyway. I've got that scripture for you.
Go on. I was gonna say, y'all don't even know.
Romans chapter 8, verse 6. It says.
I know, you know, and there's people that have been through it. Talk about it, man.
Yeah. There's usually people that don't want to talk about it. Yeah.
But these fucking losers down there in that fucking. In that London, these different individuals were talking shit. These were talking shit, man. Major shit. And where you're at now, you both. A lot of these, like I said, the dude's talking. Reports out, he's walking around talking to himself, like literally bogged out. Yeah, he did a video and he put the missus that he popped in the video. She was sitting there like the head honcho. And then he started bogging out, talking about coming out with lame ass doctrines. Remember that he was talking about? I can't even remember
the new moon Sabbath thing.
No, he was talking about the tribes and that. He said you got to actually have a stick. And he was cursing out. You don't mind a pal, man. Go on, man. You got it, man. I'm just.
Romans chapter 8, verse 6 says, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." So to be carnally minded is death, man. You know, really that that stuff really, all that stuff, all of it really annoys us because we're just here to teach the word, man. Okay, but just like the men of the Lord that went through it back then, you got to deal with what scoffers, you got to deal with bug outs, you got to deal with all kinds of things, and it's part of the battle, you know. And we're in the flesh. Everyone's in the flesh. So it's a battle, man. It's a battle to be spiritual. Every day you're battling to remain spiritual, because if you're carnal, if the carnal takes
some of them can't even handle that battle, man. I mean, they're fucking straight away is tripping out.
Yeah.
They think this is a thing about how you look on the outside, but the scripture says the outward man perisheth, but the inward man is renewed day by day.
Yeah.
Now it's beautiful when you see a whole bunch of brothers mighty looking out there in the camps, and it's a beautiful thing because you're like, yo, these brothers are putting their energy and their spirit into teaching.
Yeah.
They're sacrificing themselves. But when you're doing it for vain glory, man, that's what the problem is, and that's what a lot of them are doing. And instead of, you thought this dude he was on point, really he was doing it because of the way it looked, man. And a lot of people are doing that. It looks a certain way, and when the going gets tough, they're not really on it. It was another way for getting glory, and they thought, yeah, we get glory, and that's what it is. They wanted that fucking glory, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got a precept.
Yeah.
Romans 14:23. And he that doubteth is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of faith. For whatsoever is not of faith is sin. So you gotta when you come into this ministry, it's got to be through truth and sincerity in faith. If there's any ulterior motives, it won't last. You'll get burnt by the fire, man, of the word. The baptism of fire will burn you. It won't last. Or self-glory. Let me get into this. Let me do that. Let me use it to milk some money. Let me use it to do some music. Any of that stuff ain't gonna last, man.
It's a lot, man. You know what, man? You got it, man.
Yeah, that ain't gonna last. What's gonna last is the elect, who are gonna come in what? The true worshippers. The scriptures talk about what? The true worshippers. Let me get that precept. Okay. This is John chapter 4, verse 3. It says, but the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. So you can't fake this. That the fear of the Lord is sincerity. You can't fake it. Okay? It's got to come from the heart, man. So you're either truly in this or you're not. That's why, you got people, you got agents and all different types of things. That ain't gonna last. That's all. It's not in truth. Okay? That's why you get people, they might endure for a while and then they fall out. And that's if you have a healthy fear of Yahweh Shemel Shai, even Paul said, the Apostle Paul, he said, lest I be a castaway. You have that fear. What if the Lord gets rid of me? So what does the scripture say? Show diligence to make thy calling election sure. Another thing it says is them that endure unto the end. This thing is about endurance. It's not about coming in and sprinting. You're trying to seek some vain glory. You're trying to be above the apostles. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that road leads on to death, man. Oh, the scriptures say what? Knowledge puffeth up. So, Jake, man, they like to get a bit of knowledge, and then now they think they're super deep. Now they think they're over their teachers. They can tell their teachers what it is. Okay, that's not the correct way, man. That's not the way that Yahweh Shemel Shai intended the elect to do it. Okay, let everything be done in decency and in order. And a lot of guys just don't get that. That's why, you got all these problems, man. Okay, now let me read this again in Romans. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 7 now. says, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai. For it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. So this is about being in the spirit, you know, growing spiritually. And being in the spirit, hey, to be in this flesh, and you know, on this side, and to remain spiritual, that's suffering. Okay, you got to suffer the people. You got to suffer, you know, the trials and tribulations that come by serving the Lord, the temptations. You got to suffer the people. You got to, you know, health problems. You might have health problems, but then you still come out and teach. You make a sacrifice of your body, as it says in Romans. Let me get that. Romans 12:1. And this is what Yahweh Shai did. Yahweh Shai was on the scene. What did ultimately the Lord set the precedence of what it is, man? Okay. Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh Shai, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. It's actually, it said that it's a reasonable service. That's why in the scriptures it tells you what? When you've done all that you had to do, say we're unprofitable servants. We did that was our duty to do. You know? If you got a guy out in the, let's say, look at this. This is a spiritual army, right? If you got a guy in the army and he ain't following file and rank, okay? He's not following the training, the teachings he was given. And now he's out there in the war and he makes a stupid mistake. He starts bugging out. You know what's going to happen to that guy, man? He's going to die. He's going to die. They show you that movie, Dead Presidents. What did they show you? One guy was saying, oh, you ain't thinking about your woman, you ain't thinking about that. We said, look, if I do that, I'm going to die. So that shows you what you got to give up in this place, man. The carnal lusts of the flesh. You know, whatever walk of life you come from. He goes on to say, verse 2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that you know that shows you, man, the scriptures tell you you're transformed in the renewing of your mind. If you come into this and you're, you know, and we all work on the old man perisheth every day, okay? But if you're the same person you was 3 years ago, 5 years ago, then you ain't grown. And if you ain't grown, you're stagnant, man. That's not the flowing rivers of water, okay? The amount of times that brothers that have personally told me, their family members will look to them like, I don't recognize you. Who are you, you know? Because you change, man. You're meant to be transformed by the renewing of the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Shai. The spirit of Yahweh Shai is meant to be resonating through you, you know? Not the spirit of the world. That's why when a guy gets too worldly, then you can see it on him, man. Okay? He says that ye may prove, and that's why a lot of guys, they're in that Babylonian spirit, man. Really, they ain't let go of you know, like the apostles say, they've been in Babylon too long. Okay, we're Israelites.
Give an example.
Man. You know, hey, like for example, they might, the grape doctrine. Okay, that's in the scriptures. A lot of guys buck up against that in Israel, because you're thinking with that Babylonian mindset, man. Okay, rather than thinking of what the truth.
Give another example.
For example, that mama's boy spirit, or simping, you know, women, all of that. That's a big one in Israel. Women worship. When you come into this truth, you find out what it is to really be a man, you know. And we've
The simping's wicked, man. You're supposed to control yourself and your family. You know, like you look at those people in the Middle East, and then you look at Chechens and all that. Like what's his name, Khabib and that.
Yeah.
And his village and that. They ain't messing around, and they're rough, you know.
Yeah.
He was wrestling bears and all that. Obviously, he was younger and whatnot, but you know, and then just the culture and that.
Yeah.
You know, the culture and all this, man. You know, but when you come over here, it's flipped, you know. You know, that gentleman spirit, and he ain't the dominating force in his household, man. This is a problem. It's a
big problem. That's why you got so much single parent households because of that. You know, man is a man. That's why he grows a beard, and women don't. But now in the West, women, like we said, women want to be construction workers, judges. A lot of them, they get surgeries to try and chop off breasts and all this shit, man. This is how far it goes. It's confusion, man.
That's right. It says, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Shemel Shai. For I say through the grace given unto me to every man that is among you, not to think of not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as Yahweh Shemel Shai have dealt to every man the measure of faith. So there's a measure of faith, you know. Not everyone's going to be on the same level of faith, man. That's why in Hebrews it says that the elders gained a good report by their what? By their faith, you know. And you shouldn't think too highly of yourself. The scriptures say the greater thou art, the more thou humble thyself. A lot of guys don't get that, man. But you know, they might look at that scripture, or basic, where it's very deep. It's a very important part of this truth, of this walk.
It says if you get with all your wisdom, you gotta get understanding, man. Matter of fact, you know, let's jump to Daniel 12, man.
All right.
Let's jump to Daniel 12, man.
This is Daniel.
Before you read that, with all wisdom, get understanding.
Okay.
Let's read that.
Okay, this is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
So there's certain stuff in the scriptures that you know, you gotta have understanding on. Like the mark of the beast, you know, you gotta understand what that is, because we're in a time where it's a life and death situation. Let's jump to Daniel 12 and 1. Let's get that.
This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people.
Who's Michael, man? That's one of the chief archangels of Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know? And you got like 4 archangels, you got the 12, you got the 7. You got different archangels, man. And Michael's one of the top archangels. Michael Allah, who is like the Most High, all powerful. So when the Lord comes, he's mentioned in Daniel's 12, and then when you go to Revelation 12 as well, it goes into all that.
I remember the apostle saying, and that shows you the intent the Lord's coming back with, because you know he's not bringing, which the angels are coming, but it mentions Michael by name, you know, Uriel, Raphael, you know, and I said Michael, man.
I think Raphael means to heal.
Raphael, yeah. Allah.
So he's coming with that, like, that's a good point. 100%.
Names by name. The apostles, I remember them saying that account. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time,
so we're talking about, you got like, the Lord destroying Egypt. You had Sodom and Gomorrah. You had the 300 thing. You had the Middle Age wars, Vikings, and all that. So you know all these different wars that happen on the planet. But this war is gonna like really outdo all of this destruction and outdo. You had the siege of Masada. You had Pompeii. You had the Pompeii thing. You had these world wars, World War I, World War II, man.
Yeah.
All of this stuff, you had the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
You had the Black Death.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we want it. Pay is a big one. Yeah.
It's a big one.
But this is gonna outdo all of that. It's gonna outdo all of that. It's gonna go to Trump. It's gonna trump all of that. So this destruction is gonna be worse than all of that stuff, man. Because you're gonna have everything happening together.
Yeah.
Famines, volcanoes, earthquakes,
Pestilences.
pestilence, disease. The most diseases are master. You got diseases happening here that the scriptures weren't written in the book. You got new diseases.
Yeah.
A Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah.
And different stuff like that. These are new diseases, man. These are new diseases, man. Mad Dog 2020 and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Leviathan.
Oh yeah, so
Can't forget about
Loch
the
Ness
pet of the
Monster.
Most High, man. Yep, and it says, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Got a good precept on that.
Knowledge is increased right now. You know, and this technology and stuff like that. But Esau's been put on a certain level.
Good precept for you. Matthew 24 and 14. And because it said knowledge shall be increased. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
But knowledge is increased for Esau, you know, the technology and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like the stuff you can do now that you couldn't do. The ancient world that you can do now, you know. And he's got satellites, man. You never had satellites in the ancient world.
Can't.
You pretty much would have had them like mechanical devices.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't have satellites.
Because that's part of the prophecy. They went up into the heavens.
You go with that Obadiah.
Yeah.
So satellites are part of the prophecies, man. You know, they can, and that connect. That's the grid, the grid system, and that grid system it goes back to Europe with that saying. Is that around Switzerland?
Yeah.
You know.
It says, let's keep reading, verse 5. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood other two, the one on this side of the bank of the river, and the other on that side of the bank of the river. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time and a half. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white and tried.
So now we get it. Now we understand it.
Yeah.
Certain stuff, man. Like the mark of the beast and certain things. And it says many shall be purified and made. That's the elect. Because to be purified, and that means that you through the blood of Yahushua, you made perfect.
Yeah. And it was Yahushua that that loose the seals, man. Revelation 5 goes all into that, the full understanding.
He's the one that, like you said,
Yeah, worthy to
and he brought us into it through sacrifice, man.
yeah, yeah.
Go on, man.
Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. But the white,
The devil's not gonna understand. They don't understand this truth, man. How to, because it's not for them. What's for them is to do this, is to destroy. All you wicked people, you're not gonna get this truth, man. That's why people just walk past. They don't say, what he's talking about, man. I'm gonna hear this. No matter where we go, most people that, like, let's say when we was there in Oxford Circus, people are just scoffing. Most people are scoffing. Majority, you better have people that way. A lot of people that come in the truth through us being down there. So we got taught by apostles elders. They taught us teachers teach teachers that teach teachers that teach teachers, man.
yeah. Fishers of men, Yahushua. Follow me and I'll make you fishers of men. That's what the Lord told the disciples, man. Peter, Andrew,
Yeah.
And what's the bait? This word, man. you know?
Yeah, you go fishing. You love that. You fish. Of course you fish.
Yeah, I fished there, yeah.
Fishing. Get the bait in there.
Yeah, you got
You have the technique.
Yeah, it is like different, net fishing, all that. The scriptures talk about that, the cast and net, good and bad will be brought in, But the law's only dealing with the elect, the good, the good vessels. It says, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And from that time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,305 and 30 days. But go thou thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days. Showing the reincarnation. Had a precept. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question, Ezra's asked thou not. Showing, the time we're in, man. He said Esau is the end of the world, meaning what age? So how do we know that these other nations ain't going to rule after this? Moab, Ishmael. Moab's got the eye on the prize, waiting for Esau with their clutches, Because this kingdom is going to get taken out, man, by we're ready in Daniel's 1, a time like never before. Jacob's trouble is also Esau's trouble, a time like never before, man. And after that, from the ruins, what was it? I can't remember what Marvel character it was. Said from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one. That's exactly what's going to happen through Yahushua and his elect. The better world is going to be built, man. Okay, on the planet Earth. And that's what we look forward to. In fact, there's that scripture, 2 Peter 3. I'll straight to the point. I'll get from verse 12. He says, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh Shai, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And that's talking about that thermonuclear destruction. Nevertheless, we, World War III.
You got Russia. They got their nukes. America's got their nukes. Iran's got their nukes, man. Ukraine has even got their nukes. Certain countries ain't got them.
India. Pakistan.
and so
Yeah.
that's what that lake of fire, that World War III destruction is going to be. Certain countries are going to be making it happen.
Yeah.
Certain European countries. NATO did a conference, and they did it on Russia, and they said Russia's bullying Ukraine. That's what's coming from the West. The West is saying Russia's doing the bullying.
Yeah.
So then they're saying that we'll have to respond to Russia. They call it the nuclear deterrent.
Okay.
NATO did that. NATO did
Military.
a conference.
Right. Right.
So NATO did a conference, and they said that we're gonna we got a nuclear deterrent for Russia, and NATO said that, but they said they don't want to use the nukes, but depends on what Russia does. But you know what happens? You find out that a lot of countries are siding with America or England. But what's going to happen is NATO's even going to turn on England and America. No, England is even going to turn on America.
Yeah.
Imagine that, and
It's gonna hit the whole, yeah. Burn over fire. So America is the number one target. It might as well have a big cross on it right now, man. You know, it's got a spiritual target on it right now. You know, they're gonna throw all their missiles. He says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Kingdom of heaven, you know. So knowing that these things, if NATO's having conferences, you got Ukraine and Russia going at conflicts. You got what's going over there in Iran, okay. With this uprising of these women and all that, okay. Remember, you got the Middle East, man, the Persian Gulf. You got what's happening there. Israel, the country. You got Israel, Lebanon, Iran, all of that whole area, Syria. That's a war zone, man, and that's in the prophecies.
Yeah, all the Middle East, the countries, all the war zone, right?
Yeah. I've got a precept on that. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least flock shall draw them out.
Amalek, man. Amalek. So, Amalek are like protected, small, but they're pulling all the strings, man.
Yeah.
Every time you got UK and Israel relations, USA and Israel relations, they always got to lick the teeth of Amalek.
Yeah.
They have to.
Presidents always have to go over there.
They have to go over there and that.
You always see pictures of them at that wall and all that.
Liz Truss, before she stood down, she was all licking. She did a thing for Amalek, man. And said, I support Israel. She could not say. She couldn't say she didn't. She wouldn't be in that seat, man.
Yeah.
Even for the little 2 seconds she was in there, they're not on that. Even Trump was saying he supports him and that.
Yeah.
That shows you who's running the show.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them.
So you could see that Amalek would make America do something crazy.
Yeah.
Because just like how with this Israel-Syria thing,
Yeah.
they're not like they're like bullying Syria.
Yeah.
And they want anybody on board to help them against Syria. They're not. Amalek are bullies, man, and worms and devils. They're not.
Yeah.
And that's what they're gonna do with everybody.
Yeah.
That with all the Middle East, Iran, all that. 'Cause that's what they're doing. They're doing that right now. Now, if you come against them, you use some kind of the anti, what could you call it? Anti-sandwich.
anti-Semitic. You can't even say this word, man. So they've got pulling power. They're pulling the UK. Tony Blair, top government. You know, he was with the Rothschilds for a funeral with Amalekites, and they were all just the Rothschilds are Amalek. So they're not, they're taking that serious, man. That's their masonry. That's their Illuminati. Amalek. I mean, that's their coven where a certain stock, and you gotta respect that stock. That's what they do. Now in the scriptures, we know that stock applies to the true Israelites, man. This, let's get Isaiah 45:17. And we go to what you got, because let's read that.
Isaiah 45 verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
That's not talking about Amalek, man. That's why they call themselves the Israelites, because they want the prophecies to mean to them. But it means for us, it don't mean for them.
Yeah.
We're the true Israelites. The elites, globalists, they're not the Israelites, man. They want to be we're the children. The word Israel means these are princes of power. They're not princes of power, man. They're Edom, wasted away. Esau, Edom. He's wasted away. They're the devil, man. They're not the princes of power.
If I can just give one example as well, when you look at these so-called Jews, you look at their women. Like you got over here, you got in the UK. Look at their women. They shave their hair, and then they put on these wigs, and that's them trying to so-called fulfill the prophecy in Isaiah the 3rd chapter. But when you look at the so-called black woman, she don't need to do all that, man. Her hair's all messed up anyway. Okay.
Yeah, because
naturally,
that's a curse.
It's an actual curse upon the botch of the head of the women. So they're there trying to fulfill what's in there, going back into Israel, planting stuff in there. Nah. But we're naturally fulfilling it. Why? Because we're the people of the Lord, man. We're the true biblical Israelites. And they're doing everything in their power. Sorry.
No, you got it, man.
They're doing everything in their power to hide that, man. That's the thing. That's their power, to hide all that, to hide the truth.
Yeah, there was the scab and the crown and that, Isaiah 3 and that.
Yeah.
The black woman's got a problem with growing that. So a woman's supposed to have all this flowing hair, and you get this Edomite women that goes to their shoulders, go to their elbows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pull on it from down there, because you got hair. But the black woman, her hair is all up here.
Yeah.
She's all up here. You mean?
Yeah.
She's rocking like she's some little afros, or if she can even get that. Like she's rolling around like you know what I mean? But she ain't got no like illustrious hair coming down.
Yeah.
But you get these Edomite women, man, they got long ass hair, down to their elbows and all that if they want. Easily their shoulders.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
They have to cut it for it to stay there because it's growing. Edomite woman's hair is always growing that, and they know that, man. They know that. That's why they wear them fucking wigs.
Yeah.
They wear them Edomite looking wigs because look, man, their hair down to their asses and that. But it's not their hair.
Yeah.
When they take that off, it's all chemically bombed and all that.
Yeah.
That's in Isaiah the 3rd chapter. You know, that's a good point.
Yeah. All the nations are making money off the black woman. You got that Pax, you Elam ones, all that. That's the wonder stores. Them cosmetic stores, man. What do you always see? You see the so-called black women in there, man. Blonde weave and all that. So yeah, I had something before that. Yeah, I had a prophecy in Revelation. Yep. This is back in. So this is in Revelation 17, verse 16. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh Shemiel Shai have put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So the woman, the whore, America, man, you know, Babylon, the city of confusion, Bosra, and there's different scriptures, you know, but it's talking about the land of America, man. And all these nations, you know, they for the longest, they said, I think they said, I saw that on TV. For the longest, when you think back to the time of Tony Blair, when he was Labour government and all that, him and George Bush, they always had, you know, America and UK relations were always said as, oh, the special relationship, because that's the mother, right? But then recently, more and more, man, you got more and more tension, okay? You got Trump when he was talking about you ain't spending enough money on the NATO budget, you know, against all the European nations, European leaders were getting pissed off. You see all these different tensions, but ultimately the Lord's going to do something, okay, where he's going to make these other nations, these allies, so-called allies of America, shoot their missiles at them, you know?
What you reading?
Revelation 17.
Oh, let's go on that. Carry on that.
I actually read to the end. Should I read up? No, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. It's Revelation 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show thee unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Great War is America. Many waters is the people. You know, and you know, you got all these mountain pots of people over there. It's, you know what I'm saying? It sits on the water. Water sits in the many nations. So you got many nations in the greatest mountain pot on the planet, which is America. You know, all them states, people that have traveled all over the world to go there. Even in the colonial eras, people went there. People went there in slavery, indentured service. Moabites even was over there.
Yeah, they're building trains. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people was all up in America. You know, Moabites, all that going on.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication.
So all the nations were involved in the policies of America, women's liberation, McDonald's, GMOs, corporate, all that, the Western philosophies and that, women working, you know, because remember before that women weren't working before America put that out there.
Yeah.
Before America pushed that, no women's were working, man. You know, just little things like that. There's many sort of different things, but that's American philosophy, man. Even the foods, the corporate chains, McDonald's and these fast foods, fast foods is American. From before, what were people doing? Cooking, markets and people cooking. You know what I mean? The ancient style.
Yeah.
So America brought in fast food chains. So a lot of stuff that we're dealing with today actually comes from America. But you're so used to it, and you're so programmed. You think that's life, man. It's mad.
Add something quickly.
Yeah.
This is a Wikipedia for Americanization. Americanization is the influence of American culture and business on other countries outside of the United States of America, including their media, cuisine, business practices, popular culture, technology, or political techniques.
Political techniques, business culture. So even politics is shaped. You know?
It's got Coca-Cola here. Previously, the top global company by revenue is often viewed as a symbol of Americanization.
Which America come out of England, because England had the 2 parties, the Whigs and the Tories and the Whigs.
Yeah.
So that's how America, England is the mother of America, because like the system they got it really for. But England was in the Middle Ages with Jake Kings, but that started changing in England, and then they brought it over to America and really heightened it.
and it become this great global empire. You know what I mean? Because England, the British Empire faded, and America took the power. Which England still got power behind the scenes with the banks and the Rothschilds.
Yeah.
But the greatest empire on the earth was America. Okay, it might be controlled by the Rothschilds in England. But remember, England used to be its own empire, the British.
Yeah.
But that went out the window.
America's known as the hammer of the earth, man. And they showed the world that when they rained that fire, you know, them nukes.
Well, yeah, because they say England and America went to war. America's would wipe out England, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
You know.
Back in Revelation 17:2, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold.
Yeah, that purple represents like royalty and that.
Yeah.
Royalty, decadence, yeah. That's why it says that Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you got a golden cup, it's royalty and it's philosophies and all that. America is a reincarnation of Rome.
Yeah.
Coming back. So NATO in the EU is the reincarnation of the Roman Empire coming back. And you know, in Rome they had royalty, they had the decadence. They used to drink from certain. They used to drink from a certain type of style cups, gemstones and cups and that. They was into all that, scarlets and certain robes and you know what I mean. So the decadence has come back. You know? And you know it's funny because America's into all the imports. They want everything imported. And that's how the nations make the money, importing everything for the people in America to have the decadence. The wine, the mansions, the stones. That's in Revelation 18, the woods. All of that on a mass level.
Yeah.
So it's on a mass level. A big ass country like that. All the decadence, all the...
And a quick precept. First Maccabees 8:14. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house.
When you read
First Maccabees 8.
So,
Yeah.
so America, before, in the Greece, they had a succession of kings, but they got that from the Persians and the Medes, which got it from the Babylonians, which really got it from Jake. You know, Egyptians even did that. So that's an ancient world thing, the succession of kings, because that's sovereign from the Most High. Promises, lines, like your tribes, inheritance.
Yeah.
Like Judah, the scepter shall not depart from Judah. So you had that. So that's in the scriptures. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, right? Which the Lord Yahweh is from Judah. Now you had the kings and priests. Kings and priests kind of go hand in hand at the same time. Because a king is really supposed to be a priest. Because you know what I'm saying. But the Romans didn't do that. So let's read that again, because they started voting.
Yep.
So that voting system, that's how we know that in Revelation 20, the deadly wound was healed. Went back to ancient Rome. Because they've reincarnated that same system, man. And the architecture, man. No, where you go on the planet, anywhere in Europe, they got Roman pillars. England, America. You might think, oh, I'll go England. Does it look like a scene out of the fucking Vikings? Hell no. It don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the fucking Rome, bro.
Yeah. Or just even just right here.
It's fuck.
Very good.
It's chilling.
Yeah.
Do you want to get on the camera, man? You want to get on the camera, come here by the side. Right by the stand. It's chilling. Wow, this is a fox.
Sniffing the camper lens. You can censor it, and if you want to put me here, bro, put me here, right, yeah. Okay, no, bro. There's no problem getting, because it's not gonna hit the same as what I've said. Let's just get him on there. He was just chilling there. He was just fucking chilling.
Yeah,
And
right.
and he was sniffing the camera stand and all that shit. Anyways, he's not even, he's relaxed.
Yeah, he's relaxed. Yeah, that's the most relaxed fuck you've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't know he's that relaxed. Actually, that himself.
Yeah.
Traumatized. He ain't even fucking traumatized, man. You're usually fucked, traumatized, and that.
It says, verse 15. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, to the end that they might be well ordered. And that they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled over all their country, and they were all obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation amongst
So
them.
every year. So you elect someone, and they call the shots, but then you re-elect someone.
Yeah, same system.
So that's like these Conservatives, Labour. Oh, they're in charge of the country now.
Yeah, yeah.
So when things go tits up for them, then you say, oh, we're going to re-elect someone else in there, man. You know, it might be another Conservative lead, another party, man. You know? So you might vote in the same party, so then you just put in another leader of that party, man.
Yeah. And what do they always push? The agenda of the elites, it never changes. That's why the scriptures say, two lambs spake as a dragon. You know, that severe draconian rule, which is what the elites want. Back in Revelation 17 and 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and that shows you that's a mystery, you know, but it's been revealed through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai through his prophets, where Babylon is today, which is America. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which have the 7 heads and 10 horns. And the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall descend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written on the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. And here is the mind which have wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And there are
Listen to Daniel, so Isaiah 40 and 1 this week now.
This is Isaiah chapter 14 verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow.
We're gonna rule over oppressors, man. Role reversal. There was a movie called Trading Places.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know? So there is gonna be trading places. All these mansion houses, townhouses, oligarch palaces, they're gonna be took out because the law's gonna destroy their pride. You know what I mean? What they got. You know what they hold dear, and their reference points. You got reference points. You're gonna lose them reference points, man. This is mine. You know, look at that shot. That house, and they're gonna lose them reference points, man. The chariots will probably zap him, you know. Imagine, you know, the Lord gives us the powers and we get delivered to come back down on the earth. If we didn't get hit by a nuke, you know, we roll up to certain chateaus and we're there and the Shai sets up the chariots and started zapping it in front of us. That would be amazing, man.
Yeah.
If the Lord does it like that, that would be beautiful, man.
One of the things that happens when you get power is you see in these movies destruction of buildings. Like they showed you in that movie Brightburn. They were doing a news report. He was in the background zapping, flying through Babylonian high skyscraper buildings.
Shit out, man.
He was destroying it, man.
Yeah, what's all that about? That's the truth.
Yeah.
He wasn't restoring. He wasn't trying to, you know, clean it. You know, that's a slave spirit. A butler or you know, a shoe shine boy. You know, you got people that go to the airport. You got the dude that gets the thing out, his shoe shining. Now you weren't in that spirit, man.
Nah.
You know what I mean? You didn't get the cloth out and go. You gotta whip it a certain way. You gotta make it, you know.
Make it snap.
And you got the technique there. They get the right they got a perfect technique to make it go, just to shine someone's boot, man.
He was in that take the world out spirit, take the world.
This is what he's talking about. I would say
Verse 3. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard. Listen, man. Verse 3. And it shall come to yeah. And it's Isaiah 14:3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
We was in transatlantic. You know, this whole world's about oppression. He sort of oppresses the other nations.
100%.
He oppresses Jake, obviously, and all Jake's descendants all over the world. So it could Kurds, a lot of Jakes amongst them, they're oppressed. Yugoslavians oppressed a lot of like poor Jakes in Europe.
Yeah.
But then you got heathens that get oppressed, man. Look what he did with Moab and Ammon. And you even got Jakes amongst them. Bruce Lee's a Jake, so you got loads of Jakes amongst Moab and Ammon. You got the samurais, Jakes, you know, and all that. So, hey, you got Jakes all over the planet, man. Oppressed. Yeah, but he even oppresses the other nations. So, you know, he's not, like you say, he's known as the hammer of the earth. And Isaiah 14 goes into that, because the other nations are known as the dead. Like, Revelations 12 tells you as well.
Okay.
They're known as the dead. Because why? Because they ain't got a rulership. They had rulerships. And when you go to the statue of Daniel's in 12, Daniel's 2, it goes into that. But them nations ain't got power now. We ain't got power. We ain't got, but the house of David, that shall be restored and that. That's in Amos as well. What we got?
Yeah, and it says, verse 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
Them man, them dogs. You know, they was
losing
trying
it.
to. Yeah. Go on now.
That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Wow. Because you got the blood of the saints, man. You know? And you got the natives, you know, Gad, Reuben. They're being pushed away into what? Reservoir, reses and all that. Okay? There's a lot of blood that's been spilled of these people on this side, man. You know, over in that land. A lot of oppression. And they wanted to forget, and they changed the books in the schools and all that. They wanted to forget about all that. But no, as much pile of shit that America tries to put on it, it always goes back to race. It always goes back to the slavery, the oppression of Israel, because that's you shouldn't have touched the apple of the Lord's eye, man. So it says, how have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Because there's going to come a time where the oppression is going to cease. Jeremiah the 30th chapter tells you that the Lord's going to break the bonds, man. You know? The Lord have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
So the Lord can make you rule, or he can make you not rule.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what that's saying. Like he's broken their rulership, man. Like they look like they're still in power, but the fact that things are going left and right in their government, they're fucked.
Yeah.
And this kingdom's wicked, and it's all about adultery. All those prime ministers, politicians have orgies and shit. It's just a mess. It's just a fucking dirty mess.
Yeah.
They're into spirits, they're all bugged out, man. The Lord's confounding them right now as we speak. You can feel that, you can see that. Liz Truss, you know what I mean? Come on, man. What the fuck? Now they're saying, I mentioned this earlier, Boris. But then people are saying Labour's gonna get in. You know?
Keith.
We're gonna see what's gonna happen. Because they're trying to not have a general, but you know, it's all planned, it's all set up. Chaos. The more chaos they get, is the better for them. To bring in the digital currency.
Yeah.
The more they keep this chaos going.
There's so
on.
much chaos going on. Yeah. They had you had the lockdowns. Okay, then hold on, you had the Brexit. Hey man, hey, look, I'm just gonna say, I'll say it on camera. It's part of what I do, you know, the work I do, job
Don't
or
have
whatever.
to tell them.
No, I ain't gonna say it, but I speak to business owners in England, in the UK, and all they do over and over again is complain about Brexit and the lockdowns and how it effed up everything. It's changed the game. It's changed business, man. You know? And that's because they're bringing in the new system. You know? I'll go quick one. In Daniel's.
That's deep what you said.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Daniel's 2:21. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. Back up there on this point. The Lord has it. It's Esau's
Now
theatrics.
Esau's got soothsayers and witches. So when you go back to the Daniel,
Yeah.
and King Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel broke down. It was a dream or whatever it was, right? If I remember, man. But Daniel, see, my man,
Yeah, there was a dream
It was
with the
and Daniel was the one that.
Yep.
And he said that surely the Most High didn't with you. Because Daniel, I think he got all these magi's and that, and they couldn't understand. They couldn't make him understand what he was seeing. It was Daniel that did it, Israelites. So Esau, Edom has got his magi's, and they're watching the prophets, man, to find out, well, shit, what are they saying? They're watching us.
Yeah.
Starting with the apostles, obviously. You know what I mean? Because the apostles' elders are the ones breaking things down, man. Top men in the spirit, man. Breaking stuff down, making it plain upon tables, man. So a lot of scoffers, a lot of you niggas scoffers, you guys are demons because you're not being spiritual. You're just being a rat. You know what I mean? Being a slivery serpent creature being, just, you know, trying to come against it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what John said. You vipers who have warned you from the wrath to come.
Yeah, that's in the scriptures, right?
Yeah, slithering snakes, man.
And when you do fishing, You know, like with fishes and men, the scriptures about like you know, all the scriptures talks about all the bad things are cast, all the good things are kept.
Yeah.
So there's certain creepy crawlies that you don't want, crabs,
Yeah.
shrimps, all these wriggly things,
Unclean, yeah.
all these nasty ass beasts.
They're not meat for repentance, man. They're not meat for repentance. Yeah. Back in Isaiah 14:6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth. Oh, that reminds me of a scripture where it says none hindereth. If I may, this is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So you can't put it off. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
So you're gonna have, you know, they've got Esau's got his Stargate, Magi.
Yeah.
You know, you had the Mayan calendar, and Esau we talked about that because he understands that you're gonna get people that look into the ancient cultures and that.
Yeah.
They're into all that. They're into, but the Mayans were Jake Issachar, man. So he's into all that. He looks into stuff. But guess what? In this day and age, you got the prophets come back. So when you come in the truth, man, and you teach it, you got to understand it's a high calling that you've been given to be able to break down these scriptures, man. Now the scripture talks about the 144,000, which is all teachers. So that's a lot of teachers out there. 144,000 prophets teaching all over the place. That's how much prophets the Lord's gonna have out there, giving the oracles to teach, man. Deep, man. Deep.
Okay. So, you know, they're not going to be able to stop that destruction, man. Read back in Isaiah 14. He who smote, verse 6, Isaiah 14:6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. And that's crazy that it says to say that, because what's Esau doing to the earth, man? Polluting it, you know?
Yeah. Polluted.
Yeah. What do they always show in their documentaries? You might see like satellite images of forests or rainforests, and then it just gets gradually less and less and less and this and that, you know? Building up factories in places where you're meant to have clean running river water for that village or whatever. Building dams, destroying whole habitats, man. That's Esau. But when we're in rulership, everything's going to be in balance, in its full flow, in its perfection, man. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. A feller is like is a cut of wood. Lumberjack is another word for it, you know. They always show you. Jungle Book was about that, I think. They had the big machines come through and you know, just destroy the habitats, and just all we heard was just metal, and they showed you that in the Lord of the Rings. The trees, the talking trees. They were saying about the wicked witch Saruman or whatever. They were saying, he used to be cool with the trees, but now he's of the metal, and he's a metal and grinding and all that. You know, they showed you that in that movie, man. Because that's what Esau does.
It says the extent of the habitation is death and hell, man.
Can't.
So they go around destroying shit.
Yeah.
Everywhere, like they extend their habitations where you dwell at.
Yeah.
As death and hell. So other countries, American empire, they push death.
Yeah.
You know, and all that. They push, you know, deforestation, drugs, the food drugs, the fast foods, and actual drugs, opium, all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Taking that. Yeah. It's true. Yeah. It says, verse 9.
Because a lot of these other nations, they still do with herbs, plant medicines.
A lot of Moab.
Thailand, Moabites, they're into that.
Yeah.
Thailand, they're into that. South America, come on, Asha,
Yeah.
they're into plant medicines and all that. Japhet, you know, even Hamites, man.
Yeah.
You got Hamites in Africa, they're into that as well. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of these nations, Iraqis, Afghanis, you know, and it's like one thing that a lot of people do in a lot of these them countries, like they eat pistachios, they eat like a lot of berries and nuts. They're into that anyway.
Yeah.
The food, the Mediterranean diets,
Yeah.
or Middle Eastern diets, spices, and like herbs and stuff.
Yeah.
You know. And then they're into the plant medicines as well, man. You know.
What they call it, Eastern medicines and all that. Yeah. Verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?
So when you got a country in there, they you know they see that their country, they invested like America, they see that the place is falling, like the petrodollar.
Yeah.
They're like, well, look at you, ain't got the pulling power that you had before, man.
Yeah.
So America, the petrodollar, if you want to trade in oil and all that, you got to use the petrodollar, right?
Yeah.
So they see that America, look at it, it's
a laughing stock, man.
just yeah, they was bullying us at one point.
Yeah.
And this is what these nations, because remember, it's all about power. The statues of Daniel,
Yeah.
the Babylonians, which is Syria, you know, going to the Middle East, Syrians,
The Medio Persians,
Persians,
Iran,
and that.
East Indians, Iran.
So it's a lot of them Arab nations, man.
Yeah.
Iraq, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them nations, Medes, Japhet.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of these nations have power, man.
Okay.
You know, at one point, man. That's why there's such like a problem for Alexander the Great took over the Medio Persians, right?
Okay.
That's Iran and all them Elam nations, man.
Yeah.
That is all throughout the middle, you know, different Elam nations. So that's why even today they're a problem for the modern Greece, bro.
Yeah.
Iran and that, you know what I mean? There's,
It's in their spirit.
yeah.
And it was part of the prophecy because they're named as Ezekiel 38. The Persians were named as part of one of the god with the Gog and Magog, Russia. You know, so yeah, that's crazy. And they hate America, man. Burning flags and all that. They're always on the TV with the you know, Iran, known for that. It says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
That's it. Hey, so anyway, we're gonna close out. We're gonna close out. So we're gonna close out, and we'll catch you brothers next week. Shalom, man.
Shalom.